Okay, first step, I'm going to get all of my jars sterilized by boiling them in my big stock pot. Okay, so I looked over some of the watermelons we have over here to try to find the right one to make jam out of. So the paler ones with the dark orange sunspots are the sweetest ones, so they will be the best for eating. So I didn't want to use one of the best ones for eating to make jam out of. I wanted to pick kind of a mediocre one. So I picked this one over here. It's nothing wrong with it, but not one of the sweeter, maybe bigger ones. It'll be perfect for making jam out of. So now I'm going to dice this up and get it ready to put in my new handy dandy food processor that my mother-in-law bought me. I'm so excited about it still. And this is actually my first time to use it. So excited about that. I'm going to prep my watermelon and get it ready to puree. I'm cubing my watermelon because it's going to make it so easy to prep for the food processor, because each one of these pieces will just be a long watermelon ready to cut off the rind, cut into cubes, and throw it into my food processor to make a puree. Okay, so I forgot to mention the seeds. I got out all the seeds before I put it into the food processor to be pureed. And if I haven't mentioned it before, it's so important to seed save your seeds and not waste. So you rinse these off and then you put them on a towel for a week or two and dry them out really good. And then you put them in an airtight container and they will be good for next season and several years to come. So that and my watermelon rind, not gonna go to waste. It will be going to the chickens. It won't be going to the pigs because they're still at the butcher. We're waiting on them. So we don't have pigs anymore at the moment, but the chickens will be so happy. So absolutely nothing gets wasted around here. So now I'm going to squeeze some lemons to get my lemon juice for my jam recipe. I have bottled lemon juice and that is just fine when canning, but always remember that bottled lemon juice that you buy from the grocery store is pasteurized, and because it's pasteurized, it's lost all of its nutritional value. So there's no good vitamin C, none of the good stuff in pasteurized lemon juice that you buy from the grocery store. So if you want to get the good nutritional value, squeeze your own lemons. Also, if you want this recipe, I'll be sure to type it out below so that you can use it as well. Okay, now I'm going to bring the lemon juice, the pureed watermelon, and the sugar to a rolling boil. Don't worry if there's a few seeds in it, the seeds won't hurt. I've picked out hopefully 99% of the black seeds, but the white seeds, they won't hurt. Same as eating a watermelon. So my jars are good and sanitized, and I'm gonna go ahead and get them ready and out of here. I want them to be as clean as possible. So I have my watermelon puree to a boil, and now I've put it on simmer, and I'm going to add 2 packs of Sure Gel, and I'm going to bring that to a boil as well. Okay, so that's pack number 2, and you want to take a fork or a whisk and whisk that in because we don't want any lumps or clumps in our jam. And now we're going to bring this all to a boil again. And hopefully you have a bigger pot. My bigger pot's in use right now, so I opted for a smaller one. And oh my goodness, if this doesn't boil over, I will be so happy. Now I'm going to scoop my watermelon jam and fill up these jars so that I can get them processed. And I'm going to leave 1-inch headspace on the top of all of these for processing. Okay, so that recipe got me about 4.5 quarts. I'm probably going to have to open up another watermelon and do the same thing all over again. But for right now, I'm going to take care of these 4.5 quarts. So I have a paper towel. I always just dip it in my boiling water, and then I go around and I wipe the rims, making sure that there's absolutely nothing on them, so that they're perfect for those lids to go on, so the seal is good and tight, and this will last a very long time. Okay, so I always just dip my lids in the hot water and make sure they're good and clean before I put them on my jars. never touch them, just to make sure. I do the same thing with the rings, just in case. Some people don't wash their rings at all, but I like to know that everything is going to be perfect, so I have no chance of seals popping. Then I'm just going to finger tight these on. They don't have to be Hulk strength tight, just finger tight, nothing crazy, and that is all. Okay, and now I'm going to boil these for 15 minutes on a hard boil, and that's according to my elevation. You have to water bathe according to your elevation. Look that up on Google if you don't know what that is. So I just took them out of the water bath, and I already heard 2 pop, which is a good sign. I'm gonna get some of that. Oh, there went another one. I think it's just this one left, and I'm gonna wipe the water off. And I bet it pops in just a second. That's a really good sign. I decided to take this little half of one I had and make these little jars. I think they're really handy little gifts and things to give people whenever you see them. So instead of just having a half a jar, I'm gonna create some of these little ones. So every one of my 4 jars is already popped. And now I'm going to process a couple of little ones. This is what my hard work has gotten me: 4 quarts of watermelon jam and 3 tiny ones to give away as gifts. I am trying to be quiet because I have had to stop several times to do all of the mom things for my children, and now little ones are tucked in bed. So we don't want to wake them. So I've gotten these 4 quarts, the 3 little ones, and if you like watermelon Jolly Ranchers, you will love this, because that is exactly what it tastes like, watermelon Jolly Ranchers. So it's really good. It is a summer jam, and I'm so excited to share it with you. I'll write the recipe below if you would like to try it as well. And until next time, guys, this was just a sweet, simple sharing with you what I am doing today. And I hope you are having a wonderful weekend. Until next time, bye.
Fly away to the sky, shining bright like a shine, dreaming high like the stars, dancing through with the cloud. And every day we search a meaning.